Go ahead and press live. Going live.
That is cute.
Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to A Fistful of Dice. My name is Matt. Thanks for tuning in tonight. We're going to be playing some Star Wars D6 using my HyperspaceD6 homebrew rules, which are currently in their third-ish iteration. And if you're interested at all in checking out the rules and kind of keeping up with development, helping me playtest stuff, my link to my Patreon is down in the description. Definitely go check that out. This game is part of the Absolute Tabletop Pool Party, which is our sort of like kind of a online convention, but not really. It's just an effort to get people playing together, running games, hosting events, that kind of thing. Because typically in the summertime we do AtCon. Obviously we haven't done that the last couple summers. So everybody in the pool, we're going to be playing some games this week. And if you're interested in checking out the Absolute Tabletop group on Facebook or the Discord and getting involved in the pool party, there is also a link to the group down in the description. So there were some other things I was going to say, and now I can't remember what they were, so I think we're just going to go ahead and get... Oh, I was going to let the players introduce themselves. That's right. That's a thing you do. Sorry, it's been a few months. I'm a little rusty. I'm joined by some wonderful players tonight. I'm going to toss it to them to let them introduce themselves, and if you want, you can also tell us who you're playing tonight, but you'll get a chance to kind of officially intro your characters when we get started here. So we'll go ahead and start in the order of the Zoom window here. Zach, you want to go first? Go ahead and tell us who you are and who you're playing tonight.
Sure. My name is Zach Norman. I don't have any sort of channel you might know me from, but you might know my dad, Mini Train Domain. He's pretty cool. I'm actually in his setup right now. I stole his computer. I play Star Wars. And I'll be playing Dane Etho tonight, a former stormtrooper.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm kind of imagining like halfway through the game, we just hear like banging on the door of your dad trying to get into his office. Like, what's going on in there?
I locked the door. There's no chance
Yeah.
of that.
We barricaded the doors. Blast doors are closed. Yeah. Yep, exactly.
Yep.
All right, Paul, tell us who you are and who you're playing tonight.
Hi everyone, I'm Paul, also known as The Raven Rolls. You can find me on Facebook, Twitch, Discord, and I still have a channel on YouTube. I guess I haven't put anything up there in a while. I'll be playing Varsdan Aldalo. He's a thug, muscle, and badass.
All three of those things sorely needed on this mission for sure. Gwen, go ahead and tell us who you are and who you're playing tonight.
Hey, I'm Gwen Reed. If you want to follow me on the socials, I'm Gwen_Reed on Twitter. Do a bunch of painting stuff on there. And tonight I'm playing Z2S5 or Zeds, an ex-Imperial commando droid.
Always need a droid on the team for sure. And last but certainly not least, Adrian, go ahead and tell us who you are and who you're playing.
Hello, I'm Adrian. I am playing Makrik, which is a Gran. He's the three-eyed alien, if you remember from, I guess, the Phantom Menace. He's a pod racer, but I've played one of those for a long time. So thank you for running this game and allowing me to play. I'm so excited. I run a tabletop game group called Police 6113 Tabletop RPG Guild, and that's me.
Awesome. The last thing I want to say before we get started here is that these are a new sort of version of these rules, as I mentioned, and I have not play tested them yet, so this is going to be interesting, and we might kind of make some adjustments to things on the fly based on how things are going. So this should be fun. So without further ado, let's get into the taking of the ISD vengeance. The four of you are seated inside a U-Wing transport. Outside the cockpit windscreen and the small sort of windows along the port and starboard sides of the ship, you see the spiraling blue and white tunnel of hyperspace outside the ship, and you hear the wind of hyperspace, for lack of a better term, kind of buffeting against the hull of this small but sturdy craft. Aside from the four of you, there's a droid pilot up in the cockpit. The cockpit is kind of set apart from the rest of the ship. There's like a short ladder that goes up to the cockpit, and the droid is up in the cockpit, kind of coasting along in light speed. And as the camera kind of pans around the cabin of the U-Wing, we see the four of you sitting there, each of you a hardened commando. Each of you has seen action before, and all of you have worked together before. You are all part of Defiance, a special operative commando squad of the rebellion. You take the missions that others can't, that others won't, that others are not willing to. You buck at authority. You do what must be done, make the difficult decisions because no one else can. This particular mission is, well, it's one of the hardest ones yet. You don't know much, but you know that the four of you were roused from sleep or drinking or gambling or whatever you happen to be doing during your leave, and were told that today you were going to capture an Imperial class Star Destroyer. And without much further ado, you were stuffed into this U-Wing and hurtled off into hyperspace. As the camera pans around, we see the four of you, and I'd like for each of you to describe your character and tell us what you might be doing to prepare for this mission, or what thoughts are going through your head. What gear are you prepping? What pre-mission rituals are you overseeing? We'll go ahead and let's go ahead and start with the droid of the squad. Let's start with Zeds. Zeds, what do you look like, and what are you up to here in the U-Wing cabin?
So Zeds is, as I said, an ex-Imperial military commando droid that was once found blasted to shit on a battlefield and taken in by the rebels and rebuilt. She no longer looks like a pristine droid though. She's had her limbs like kind of hastily repaired and from a distance she might look like a pass as an Imperial droid, but as soon as you start getting close, you notice that there's something wrong with her. She's like matte black. Well, the parts where there's paint are matte black. And across her chest, she has carved into herself the phrase "This machine kills fascists." And as she's sitting there strapped into the U-Wing, she's just constantly babbling in droid speak at Dane. Just constantly, she's probably been going for like the whole trip, just constantly chattering. She doesn't really think that she should have to speak common when she doesn't want to. And as she's doing so, she's nursing in her hands and gesticulating wildly with a thermal detonator just grasped in her claw.
Dane, as the droid known as Zeds is sort of babbling at you in this droid speak, the camera pans over and we see you for the first time. Go ahead and describe what Dane looks like and what they might be doing here as the mission prepares to undergo.
All right, yeah. Dane is a broody-looking fellow. They generally keep to themselves and are pretty quiet. Kind of sit like with their arms crossed or tucked in, looking very closed off. They wear the remains of their armor from when they were under Imperial service as a scout trooper. So they've got this blaster scorched, aged, not well kempt, the white armor that has been blasted black in many parts. And instead of a scout trooper helmet, they have adopted one of those old iconic Rebel Fleet Trooper helmets, the white and black ones that like slope back. They are sitting, kind of shaking. Sometimes they get lost in thoughts and memories from their time in service of the Empire, which sometimes haunt them. Trying to fight back any, the fears that come with the mission. And as Zed's is just going on, they're just kind of like, "Don't you have an off switch?"
She stops speaking binary for like the first time in maybe an hour, and she's like, she kind of stops gesticulating and like stares at you with her large black mono eye, and like kind of leans in close and just says, "No." And then she goes back to speaking in droid speak at you. Like at you, like she's just in your face still, just blabbering on about you don't know what.
Dane just kind of leans back. They have a rifle at their side. This probably the only well-maintained thing they carry is this scoped blaster rifle. It's got a vibro knife bayonet attached to it, and they just kind of lean kind of on like against it, almost using it as a cane, just like away, kind of trying to distance themselves from this blabbering droid. Very exhausted by the constant noise, for lack of a better word.
And seated across the cabin from those two, we first see Varsden Aldalo. What does Varsden look like, and what is he doing here ahead of the mission?
Oh, we're not flying. Are we flying right now? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, even though he's probably been told several times not to smoke, he has a death stick in his mouth, and he has a rubber ball that he's just bouncing off of a screen, just tossing it and catching it back, and he's taken up a whole seat. He is large he's a near human, and let's see, 1 second here. I called Drexen. He's a Drexen, large near human species. He is just massive muscle and everything, and he has up by his side somewhere he has a scatter blaster with a scope and a vibro knife bayonet as well. And on his person, you probably can see he has several other vibro knives. But on his back, he has a black vibro blade. Matt was and I were joking around that I said, "What color lightsaber could I have?" And I said black. He said yes. So I got a black vibro blade. And yeah, he's just sitting there quiet, just bouncing, and just the ball, just waiting for the mission to start, where he can hit something.
And the last commando here in the U-Wing is Makrik, who is probably looking about the cabin in all different directions with these three eyes. Go ahead and describe what Makrik looks like and what he'd be doing here to prepare.
So Makrik is he's shorter than probably most everybody else, especially Zen's. Imperial droids probably stand pretty tall, and for him being a Gron, he's stocky but strong. His normally almost like tan skin has been almost like turned red from just the amount of like combats and exposure to the amount of gas explosions and all kinds of things. He's a mercenary and has been so his whole life. So he's scarred. He's got a robotic hand, cybernetic replacement. He probably lost one from an explosion. And he's got this big backpack and repeater blaster, which he's keeping powered down, but he's going through his protocols and checks and stuff. So you hear power up briefly. The blue lights all kind of like light up across it. When he quickly powers it back down, just does not want to waste any of the power packs. That you see strapped to his vest. He's got all these extra boosters and stuff that he can recharge it with. And he kind of stands up, kind of the ship rocking, and he claps Zed's on the shoulder as you're just robotic jargon's going. He's like, it's okay, droids go first. The expendables, eh? And he'll tap Dane on the hand and kind of sit down across from him. Love me some droids. Excellent for this kind of missions.
As you kind of say expendable, Zed's just like snaps to you, like, and like tries to get up, but she's actually like strapped down into the seat. And so she's like tries to get up, and she's like points at you. She's like, "We're not expendable. We have lives of our own." And then she goes back into yelling at you a lot louder in droid speak.
This one's got an attitude, eh?
She's like, she's trying to now like scramble at her what do you call it, like seatbelts, trying to undo herself, and
yeah, across it, I think I'd be like putting my harness back on because I repositioned, and I'd be like, "Calm down there, droido. Calm down. We'll save it for the stormtroopers. We're all expendable here." And
that kind of defeats her a bit. Like she's like, "Oh, okay." She understands what you like kind of mean more now. Like we're all expendable rather than just droids in general, and reminding her that she's here to kill the Imperials definitely takes her mind onto something else as well.
Yeah, and as this tussle is kind of threatening to break out here in the cramped confines of the U-wing, as it's sort of rattling through the hyperlanes, the droid pilot swivels their head completely backwards and says, "Incoming transmission, stand by for mission briefing." And in the center of the U-wing, this small hollow projector flickers to life, and you see standing in the middle of the U-wing, essentially life-size, is a Mon Cal wearing a Rebel Alliance uniform, this sort of pristine white uniform. You see the sort of command strip of a general sort of on their lapel. And this Mon Cal kind of sweeps its gaze across the cabin and says, "Defiance Squad, I am General Linus Outen. I am commanding the rebel ship Reclamation. We are currently engaged with the Imperial Star Destroyer Vengeance. We have the unique opportunity to attempt to capture this vessel, and we think you might just be the ones to help us do it. We're locked in a desperate volley of turbo laser fire at the moment, but we can hold them off for a few minutes more. If the four of you can enter the Star Destroyer through a maintenance hatch and open the ray shields in the hangar, we can land additional U-wings and storm the corridors of the Star Destroyer. Additionally, you will need to take command of the bridge. From there, you can disable the gunnery console and prevent further rebellion losses. The manner with which you do this, and the order in which you do them, I leave up to you. This is a tall order, and a mission that will likely end in casualties. I do not take this lightly, and know that I value your sacrifices. Now, we do not have much time, but do you have any questions for me?
Why did you wait until we were on the bridge to give us the brief? Or on the ship to give us the brief? Couldn't it have come a little earlier?
Time is short, and time is a resource the rebellion is unfortunately very short in.
Zed's also turns to you and is like, because he knew if he told us before the mission that we wouldn't come.
The droid has a point.
You underestimate my willingness to die.
Well, then I think you've joined the right outfit.
Just don't die too soon, eh?
Can't come soon enough.
If you manage to capture this Star Destroyer, it will be a victory for the rebellion. We will be able to use the ship, learn more about Imperial tech, potentially stage several skirmishes with it before the Empire even knows we've captured it. It would change the tide of the war. Now, do you all understand what is being asked of you?
Yeah, we just jump in, kill imps, let you guys land, and take the guns, and yeah, kill as many Imperials as we possibly can.
That's the general idea. And, as I've been told, you all have done this sort of mission before. Well, with that, and there's kind of this, you hear this, like, kind of muffled explosion in the background of the hologram, and the general actually kind of stumbles a little bit and says, "May the Force be with you." And the hologram flickers out. The droid in the cockpit says, 10 seconds until we drop to real space. Prepare yourselves. We're going to be dropping into the middle of a skirmish.
Zed's does like one final check on her gear. She's got a bunch of demolitions equipment with her, some breaching tools and slicing tools as well as her trusty little breakout shotgun. What do you call them? Scatter blaster.
Scatter blaster. Yep.
I power up my repeater again, kind of like get ready with my hand on the harness to unclip myself and ready for the breach.
Varsden puts the ball into a pocket somewhere on this person, and he gets ready, make sure everything is secure, all his gear waiting.
Dane does just takes a big deep like all right, let's do this.
The droid in the cockpit gives you a dropping to real space on my mark. 3, 2, 1, mark. And the droid kind of pulls that hyperspace lever up at the top of the cockpit, and you all feel the familiar sort of like gut-wrenching sensation of returning to real space. And immediately the view screen just fills with an Imperial-class Star Destroyer, just this gray, blistered hull, this monolithic ship, sort of pyramid in shape, its point kind of pointed right at you, and there's turbo laser fire just... And you see that indeed you have sort of dropped into real space in the midst of a massive capital ship battle. This Imperial Star Destroyer locked with a Mon Cal Star Cruiser, both of them kind of coming up alongside each other and volleying back and forth with turbo lasers. There are fighter wings zooming back and forth, dogfighting with one another, and you see that there are probably close to a dozen support ships for each side, sort of zipping around, exchanging fire as well. there are explosions kind of blossoming off the shields of both of these massive capital ships. And you see that both of them have taken some damage. There are some portions of each ship where the hull is kind of cracked and charred and caved in, where the shields have sort of given way and allowed the turbo laser fire through. The droid pilot kind of expertly just flies beneath the Star Destroyer, sort of under its ventral side, and as they do so, they just flip the U-wing sort of upside down so that you're sort of belly to belly with the Star Destroyer, and you come to a screeching halt. Like, if there were brakes on this thing, it would be like, "Arr!" Like right past the hangar, and the U-wing sort of makes contact with the hull of the Star Destroyer and maglocks to this small access hatch along the bottom side of the Star Destroyer. There's this kind of this circular hatch on the bottom of the U-wing that spirals open, and you see this small, short access hatch leading to a thick steel door with a small control panel on it, with Imperial markings. The droid says, "This is your stop."
Zed's finally undoes her belts and stands up. She cuts an imposing figure. As I said, she is quite tall. She turns around and looks to the pilot droid and kind of gives him a little wave, and goes to get ready to open the door. And she's like, I'll see you later. It's like, you can tell they've got kind of a rapport going, and she's like, don't get blasted out of space out there.
See, we don't have time for flirting.
Zed looks at you with, like, she pretty much every time anyone talks to her, she snaps. She doesn't have a smooth motion in, like, her body, and she's like, I'll flirt whenever I want to flirt.
And the droid pilot kind of puts two fingers to their forehead and goes, sort of does a little salute to you, and prepares to sort of drive off with the U-wing as soon as you get this hatch open. So, if anyone wants to attempt to slice into this hatch, we're going to do our first roll of the game, and our first roll of Hyperspace 3rd Edition. We're going to go with a technical roll, adding computer skill, if you have it.
Yep, I'll smash that out. I've got 5 dice in technical and a 1 in computers, so...
Great.
Whoop, I've got to put my Destiny dice in there. So... just to double check, so it's roll my pool and then add the 1 as a number, right?
Yep, add the 1 to the total of the dice. Yep, and if you do roll a 6 on that Destiny die, you get to roll it again.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, cool. Okay, so we got 5, 10, 17 all up.
Yeah, you pretty expertly. I actually imagine that you might have some sort of Imperial code cylinders that you're able to use to get this thing open, and so you very quickly set to work, type in a few things.
They're old codes, but they check out.
Exactly. And similar to the sort of the circular hatch at the bottom of the U-wing, this hatch just kind of sort of peels open almost like a flower, and you see the interior of a Star Destroyer. It's kind of disconcerting because you're like looking in the floor of the U-wing, but it's like up into that, so the gravity is like reversed. It's like a weird kind of disorienting sort of thing. But you see that you're essentially like coming up into like the Star Destroyer through the floor of one of the corridors, and you sort of peek out and you don't see anyone around you, but you immediately hear the like like the Imperial sort of klaxon blaring, and there's like chatter over the loudspeakers, commands to all hands to the port side, all hands to the port side, taking severe damage, and all kinds of sort of Imperial chatter as you peek into the Star Destroyer's innards.
Zed climbs up through the hole and offers an arm down to help everyone else up through the hole.
Yeah, up, down, through the... Yeah. Yeah, who's next through the hatch?
I think Varzin will head on through.
Cool.
He ducks through. Well, actually, how big is it? How big did you make it?
It's big enough to fit you. You definitely have to kind of like scrunch up a little bit to fit through, but...
All right. So he squeezes on through there.
Yeah, you pull him out. Give him a tap on the back as he kind of gets up and pulls through, and help the rest of them up as well.
And as you're helping Varsden up, you actually hear... well, let's see here. Varsden, you hear the kind of the buzz, the hum of stormtrooper comms, and you think you hear like it's hard to make out exactly what they're saying, but you can hear that there are stormtroopers nearing your position from another corridor.
I'll give command. I guess we might have some shorthand for hostiles or something, so I don't say anything, and anyone behind me, hoping they can see my hand signal.
Hand commands.
Yeah. So you all see Varsden do this hand command, letting you know that there are hostiles approaching.
Zed's like just tries to rush everyone through and grabs, pretty much like yanks them through the hole in the floor. And...
Yeah.
Okay.
You get everyone through, and the hatch closes, and you hear the like of the U-wing disengaging its maglock, and you imagine the U-wing sort of flying off and likely going back into hyperspace to avoid retribution from the Star Destroyer. But almost as soon as the four of you are up and sort of get yourself situated here in this corridor, you hear a stormtrooper voice say, "We got a report of an access hatch being opened down here. We need to check." "You don't really think someone boarded the Star Destroyer, do you?" "Just doing what we're told." And you actually see in the like the sort of like mirrored steel of the corridor, you see like these white shapes, the stormtrooper armor sort of reflected on the wall as they come from a parallel hallway, or a perpendicular hallway rather.
He kind of raises his rifle in their direction and just kind of says to the others quietly, "Looks like the welcoming party's coming."
I think for now, until we know how far they are for sure, I think we got range covered. So Varzin will pull out his vibroblade.
Okay. Do you want to try and move up to that corridor so that you're close to them when they come around the corner?
Yeah, he'll head on to the corridor. He's not seen.
Cool.
I'll follow up after him, kind of thing, behind him.
I think with everybody advancing there, Malkrik is going to actually face the other way, make sure his blaster is ready down the other hallway. And then once it's kind of he stabilizes it with the one hand, he's going to reach down and pull a smoke grenade off his belt and then just kind of re-grab the front so he's ready to pop smoke if we need to.
Great. Awesome.
Covering the back.
Very cool. Okay, and then Dane, you're kind of covering the corridor with your weapon?
Yeah, there's no nothing to maybe get cover behind and prepare, is there?
I'll say that there's maybe some like Durasteel crates kind of piled on one side of the hallway, so you're able to kind of duck behind them and get some cover.
For sure. Yeah.
And anyone else who wants to do so is able to do so. Okay, the stormtroopers round the corner. At least one of them does. And he kind of looks one way and then looks the other. And the first thing he sees is the mass of Varsden holding this like black vibroblade. What do you want to do, Varsden?
Oh, sorry. I was like, who's that?
Who's Varsden? He sounds cool.
But you said they're coming around the corner?
Yeah, so you're facing one of them, and you can see that there's at least like 2 or 3 more sort of behind this lead trooper.
Okay, well, I'll slash at him.
Yeah, let's do it. Go ahead and give me a melee check. So that's a dex roll, adding melee if you have it, which I believe you do.
It's actually a strength check for me.
Oh, that's right, because you took that thing. That's right.
Yeah, I took the edge brute strength.
Yeah.
All right, so that's 5 plus 1 from the force die. Is that correct?
So the force die is one of them. So if you have 5 in strength, the destiny die is one of those 5.
Okay, that works. All right. All right, so that's 5d plus 1. Oh. 15.
15 hits. Go ahead and give me some damage.
All right, so I remember this 5d and 1. Okay.
Yeah, Vibroblade is...
Oh, 4d. Sorry.
Yeah, 4D, yeah.
I was looking at the attacks, though. 12. Oh, 1 reroll.
I'm going to go ahead
16 points of damage.
Okay, I'm going to roll an armor die and negate 4 of that. Taking 12 damage total. Go ahead and describe what it looks like as you take the stormtrooper out.
Yes.
As soon as he turns the corner, he probably just doesn't realize he just walked into a wall, essentially.
A wall with a sword, yeah.
Yeah. And the sword comes slashing down, finds a groove in like the shoulder plate in the neck area where there's a little less armor, and just slices right through his chest. Might not make it all the way through, but gives it a good slice through before he kicks the body off of the blade.
Yeah, and the trooper kind of does a hey, what the? Hold it right! Ah! And then you get him with the sword as he kind of brings the blaster rifle up, and so he kind of fires a couple shots like into the ceiling as he goes down. There are 4 other troopers with him who immediately kind of rush out and start taking cover behind crates, sort of firing down the hallway. But you all have the jump on them, and so you're able to act before they do. So I'm just going to go down my order here. So Zeds, do you want to do anything as these stormtroopers kind of pile into the corridor?
Yeah, so hang on, I just need to find out. Spread means that I can distribute the...
Yeah, when you roll your damage, you can distribute it.
Damage.
Yeah,
okay. So yeah, I'm just going to like kind of pop out from behind Varsden and kind of shoot down the corridor like covering fire, I suppose.
Yeah.
So so Dane can maybe get in a better position while doing all that. So I've got blasters, so dexterity 2 dice and then +2 for blasters. On my I think that +2 is from when I used to be a commando droid, still sticking around.
Oh yeah.
Oops, sorry, hang on. I forgot to roll one of those dice as a destiny dice. I got 10. 10 roll up.
10 to hit. Not quite enough to hit, but as you kind of blast down the corridor with this scatter blaster, all the troopers kind of have to like take cover, so you're sort of like covering suppressive fire. Absolutely does the job.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Dane.
Yeah. How's my line of sight on these guys?
So I'll say that you probably have a decent line of sight on at least one of the troopers. You kind of see the crest of their white helmet as they're kind of ducking beneath the Durasteel crates. They were really not expecting to run into a rebel commando squad in this hallway. They probably were like, Minox chewing on the power cables or whatever. But yeah, now they're fighting for their lives here. So
Yeah, I'm gonna take aim with my scope at one of those shiny white helms and let out a blast with my rifle.
Awesome. Yeah, let's get a roll.
Woo. Okay, 4D plus 2. Gonna have that destiny die. Oh, that's a 6 on the destiny die.
Ooh, yeah. So go ahead, add 6, and then roll it again.
All right. Math. Hold on a second. Okay, that's a total of 22.
Yeah, I think that'll do it. That absolutely hits. Go ahead and roll some damage.
For sure. Okay, and then a 1. Or you don't roll destiny die for damage.
For
rolls,
damage,
right?
no.
Okay, that's good because I rolled a 1, and that's generally bad. All right. That is a total of. There's that dreaded math again. 6, 10, 17 blaster damage.
Go ahead and tell us what it looks like as you take this headshot from down the corridor and take this guy out.
Oh yeah, that white bucket pops up from behind those Durasteel crates, and there is then a black scorch mark and a clean hole through the visor of that helmet before this figure plummets to the ground.
Yeah, and he was kind of like mid popping up to take a shot, and then he just disappears. He just drops, just a pile of armor with a hole through the head.
As that happens, you can hear Zed's like cackling, like in
As you're like racking your scatter blaster for another shot. Yeah. All right, awesome. And then Varsden already went, so Mokrik.
Okay. So is the back hallway clear?
The back hallway is clear. Yep, you don't see anyone coming.
So I'm gonna just kind of step backwards towards the action behind me and just be like, okay, this is okay, and just swivel around until I have line of sight down the other hallway, and just go with my light repeater. So with that, I have the ability to spread the damage, but I also have auto fire, which is minus an attack dice, which I can add to the damage if I hit, right?
Yep, that's correct.
So I would like to do that. So I roll 3 dice now, actually, but it's at a +1 because of gunnery, or does it stack with blasters too? Because it says
does not stack with blasters. That's a great question, though.
Okay, so in that case, then I roll like just 3 +1. Oh, and then one of them I forgot to roll is the force dice. So should I just re-roll?
Yeah, go for it. That's fine.
Okay, so that is a total of 11 for a hit.
11 is just enough to hit one of these stormtroopers. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay, so I get the additional die from that, so that'll be
from the auto fire.
6,
Yep.
6 plus 1 plus, so 7 dice total on the repeater.
Yikes!
Jesus.
So that's 4, 10, 14, 18, 22.
22 damage.
Yep.
And then, do you have spread?
Plus 1. I
Plus
do
1.
have spread. Yes. So it's
So
23 damage.
you're doing enough damage to take out the 2 remaining stormtroopers. So go ahead and describe what that looks like.
So he's a combat veteran, very used to blaster fire going off. So, and that hallway is just empty and nothing's happening. He just kind of turns around and then just machine guns down everything, just in the left to right. He's like, hey, what were the rules of engagement, boss? Kill everyone?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah, you actually, I imagine that you got at least one of them, like, through the crate. Like, you just kept shooting through the crate, and he just kind of, like, falls on the other side of it. So, in just a matter of literally, like, 5 or 6 seconds, all 4 of these stormtroopers are laying on the ground. The hallway just smells of, like, ozone and scorched flesh and blaster fire. And apart from the sort of the klaxon of the Star Destroyer, it is now quiet in this corridor.
Yeah. He just lifts the blaster and just switches out the power pack just instinctually. After just
Varsden pulls out his death stick, takes a deep breath of the blaster fire smell, and then he puts the death stick back in his mouth.
I love the smell of burnt ozone in the morning.
Zed's Zed turns to you and she says, "You know those things will kill you, right?"
There's a lot of things that'll kill you. And we're in the center of all this. I'm gonna die something else before I die of a death stick.
Zed's kind of like nods and she's like, "Yeah, you're probably right," and kind of holsters her shotgun and dusts off her hands and says, "Right, which way is that the hangar? That's right. So we need to go right to lower the."
Yeah. Let's see here. So we've got 2 ex-Imperials on the squad here. Both of you would likely know at least the rough layout of a Star Destroyer. You probably served on them before. However, you've never come up through the sewers of a Star Destroyer before. So let's go ahead and do a, between the two of you, we can do an aided check. So one of you can roll and you'll get an extra die from the other person. It's going to be just a straight knowledge check to try and remember where the hangar is.
All right, I've got 1D in that.
Yeah, me too.
Well, I guess
my brain got fried, so...
do you want me to roll it, or do you want to roll it?
You can roll.
Okay. All right,
And
so
then
that would be
add an
2D
extra
then.
die from the...
From the fried brain.
Yeah, Star Destroyer schematics got blasted out of there a long time ago, yeah.
We are looking at 5.
It was an easy check, so that's
Hey,
enough.
there you go.
You kind of, you do a quick sort of like, and even if you don't have the full like schematics in your head, you at least know like this direction to the hangar, so you know which way to go.
Yeah, I just kind of I do the head sweep and just point that way to die. Let's go.
Awesome. So the 4 of you begin sort of running down these corridors of this Star Destroyer. It's just this labyrinthine sort of structure. Corridors branching off, turbo lifts, going up and down. You run into a few more stormtrooper patrols of 2 apiece, but you're able to just easily gun them down as you're sort of charging down the corridors. There is a moment though where there's a massive explosion from the other side of the Star Destroyer, and all 4 of you feel it sort of in the deck plating of the floor as something important has exploded on the other side of the Star Destroyer. I need everyone to give me a dexterity check, please. If you have agility, you can add agility.
I keep getting that force dice. I mean, not force dice, destiny dice.
15.
10.
Did anyone get less than 10?
Yeah, I got a 6.
Okay. So... Oh, go ahead, Adrian.
Oh, I just realized I rolled a 6 on the force die, so I can add, but I got a 17.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you're good. Actually, with that 6 on the destiny die, what it'll allow you to do, Mokrik, is you could try and catch Zed's and prevent her from slamming against the bulkhead as the gravity kind of shifts as the Star Destroyer starts sort of tilting to one side. So you're able to grab Zed's and prevent her from just slamming up against this steel.
Can it be my cybernetic hand? So
Absolutely.
Just like robots, like...
Yep.
As I come to my footing, I put a hand on your shoulder and look deep into your eye and say, "Thank you." And then get back to running down the hallway.
Now the 2 of you are flirting? Oh.
So you continue sort of running down the corridor, you kind of at an odd angle as the gravity attempts to sort of compensate for this new tilt to the axis of the Star Destroyer. But soon enough, you make your way to the hangar, and the blast doors to the hangar are open. And as you're kind of looking in the hangar, you see that there are personnel running all over the place. The ray shields are still active, and you see shots just kind of against the ray shields. And you actually see an X-wing with one of its wings blown off, just spiral up into the ray shield and sort of smash against it and just blow into debris against the ray shield. There are several TIE fighters still locked into their sort of positions up on the catwalks, but most of the TIE fighters have been dispatched to help deal with the battle. You see that there's a large computer console sort of at the center of the hangar that you imagine would allow you to deactivate the ray shields. There are stormtroopers sort of milling about, and you see an Imperial officer in like a crisp charcoal gray uniform sort of pushing buttons, looking very important as they do so. No one seems to have noticed you yet as you sort of are looking into the hangar. How would you like to proceed?
So, might be a bit risky, but something I didn't mention is Zed's has like one of those flight suits, like the rebel flight suits over her, like as
You're
a jacket
an
kind of thing.
orange jumper.
Yeah, it's
I
pretty
love
shoddy. And as she kind of like takes in everything around her, she kind of rips it off and dumps it to the ground and is like, all right, I'm going to she's like, you've seen her do this before, basically. She's going to try her luck at pretending she's supposed to be there, I guess, and just kind of try and walk up to the console and interact with it. She's like, you guys better have my back. Like, she does this like kind of non-verbally. She's like, you guys have worked with her before, and you know that she tries this dumb shit all the time.
It's just gonna be like, smokes if it doesn't work.
Yeah. She's like, if it works, it's gonna be great. If it doesn't, well, I suppose we'll deal with that when that happens.
Dane will move to a position to get his rifle trained on that officer, just in
Cool.
case things go sideways.
Great.
And,
Yeah, I'm gonna hang at the corridor entrance where we kind of are concealed enough to, as long as there's no patrols. And
Yeah,
I
you
am-
can kind of like hang off to one side of the blast doors, and you're fairly
Yeah.
concealed. Yeah.
And I'll just have both my smoke grenades in one hand, the robotic hand just ready to like chunk if
Are
we
you,
need
like-
to. It's so big. I feel like that's gonna
Yeah.
give us at least a
Are
narrower
you like
window.
David Bowie in the labyrinth with both grenades, like rolling them in your hand?
If I can,
Yeah.
yes. And then he like
Love that.
activates one, he like turns it off and stops.
Yeah, oops.
Oops.
And what about you, Varsden?
How far away is the commander?
Let's say that he's let's see here. He's far away, so it would take you a couple turns to get there. The hangar's pretty huge, pretty expansive space.
And Zed's is heading in that direction?
Mm-hmm.
So you're doing okay. I will take out put the vibroblade away and take out the scatter blaster and aim.
Cool. Awesome. So Zeds, you're kind of walking across the hangar toward this officer.
Just before I go, I point down at my my jacket that I took off and like point at Varsden and be like, pick this up, take this with you. I want this back.
This is vintage, okay? You need to hang on to it for me.
Yeah. And then she like kind of like adjusts herself and like tries to get like, you know, into the mindset of being a fascist douchebag.
Yeah.
And she slowly kind of casually walks towards the
Is
As-
this like the type of like droid walk that like it's too casual and you should be looking at the droid, but you're not?
Well, I assume the dice are going to tell us the answer to that question.
Fair,
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah, how much sauntering is happening on a scale of 1 to 10? So as you're approaching this officer who has his back to you as he's kind of pushing buttons and he's kind of barking orders to people who are running around, repairing things, refueling things, there's a kind of boo as a turbo lift arrives on the other side of the hangar, and the doors open up, and stooping to exit the turbo lift is a KX security droid with this like black plating and these like this sort of skull-like face, and the KX droid starts walking toward the across the hangar toward the officer as well.
Jesus. So yeah, so how far away am I from the console now? Like,
I'll say that you're there. You're pretty much standing behind the officer now, and he kind of he looks over his shoulder for a second, sees that you're a droid, and just ignores you.
okay, so as he is like ignoring me, I'm going to try and interact with the console and I suppose try and deactivate the ray shields, like right next to him, I suppose.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
So this will be it'll be a technical check, computer skill. It's going to be a tough target number because you're also trying to do it in such a way that you're not giving yourself away. So we're looking for a let's say a 20 or better on this roll.
Yeah. So character points, I can use them whenever to add a dice. Is that right?
Correct. Yep.
So I'm going to do that.
Good choice.
Good call. Good call. Yeah, you may as well. You may as well.
Yeah. Well,
It's a suicide mission. Use your character points.
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I want to save him.
For next time. I don't know.
It's like those things when you're playing a game and you end up in the game with like a billion potions in your
Yeah, you have like
inventory.
25 Phoenix
I gotta use
downs.
them. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm rolling 6 dice on computers. Yeah, I assume.
Computers, yep.
All right, so we got 6, 7, 8. Exactly 20.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
So yeah, so that character dice definitely was useful.
No kidding. Okay, so what does it look like as you get up to this console and disable the ray shields around the hangar?
Okay, so ray shields that just stops anything that I don't want coming in, right? It doesn't.
Yep, exactly.
It doesn't just like get rid of the atmosphere or anything. It's just
No, yeah, it's not. You're not going to get pulled out into space or anything, but it stops objects from getting in. Yep.
yeah. So yeah, I casually interact with the console, kind of as casual as possible, and all the lights on the console kind of light up and turn red, and the commanding officer next to me is probably notices this, I assume, because as the lights turn red, the ray shields just drop. And
Yeah.
he looks down at the console and then looks up at me, and then I headbutt him.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
As he notices that something's wrong, I just go blitz. Yeah, just smack him right in the head. And as the shields drop, actually maybe a stray laser shot fires into the area and maybe knocks out a TIE fighter or
Yeah.
or a group,
Hell
or
yeah.
a group of dudes and sets things on fire, and it's a bit chaotic.
Yeah, the ray shields go down. There's this kind of, and the lighting in here instantly turns that like blood red of like emergency lighting. And as this stray turbo laser kind of streaks into the hangar and takes out the TIE fighter, just chaos breaks loose. The commanding officer, this gray uniformed guy, just immediately goes down, just bleeding from the nose, completely unconscious on the floor as the droid just headbutts him. The KX droid across the hangar immediately starts doing the like T-1000, like just charging towards you, and it actually like does like a like leap over the actual hangar and like lands on the other side and is just a few steps away from you, Zeds. Let's go ahead and roll initiative. So this is just a straight.
This is bad.
Yeah. So this is just a straight perception roll. You do include the destiny die on this. Go ahead and roll perception, and then I'll take initiative here after you do so.
I think any of us took a decent perception.
I got a 1, by the way, on the 1 dice that I rolled. So,
Oops.
I got a 8.
8. Okay, cool. Who got better than 8?
You said
5.
perception?
quick,
Yeah,
just
perception.
a quick sec. I just tangled up in my cables.
Yeah, go for it. I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna roll the KX droid separately. Yeah.
I got a 7.
Okay.
So not only did Zed's memory get blasted out, her optical sensors are not that good either.
Yeah, faulty. Yeah.
She's pretty much just good at one thing, and that's interacting with computers, or two things, and being a nuisance.
And
annoyance.
headbutting fascists as well is
Is
pretty
your
good.
faceplate where it says "This machine kills fascists"?
No,
Or is it
it's
your
on my
chest?
chest.
Oh,
But now-
okay. I was thinking you just.
yeah. But now my faceplate is all just covered in blood.
Okay, so the KX droid got 13. Did anyone get better than 13? Okay, all right, so KX droid's gonna go first. Who got higher than 10? Okay.
Wow, yeah.
Who got 9? Who got 8?
8.
Okay, all right.
I
Okay,
think the rest of us only have 2 dice.
yeah,
Zed has 1, and the rest of us have 2.
okay.
We're all majorly perceptive here.
Yeah, well, you're, maybe more of a blunt instrument squad.
Yeah, I feel
yeah. Yeah.
We're the one that was expendable.
Yes,
to be honest.
yes. Okay, so Mokrik is going to go after the KX droid, and then who got next?
I hit a 7.
7, okay, and then it'll be Dane.
I
And
got a
then
5.
you got 5. Okay, what's your dex, Farsden?
3.
3. Okay, so you will go before the stormtroopers,
Oh, that's good.
and
At
then
least someone is. I mean, most of us are, yeah. So.
and then bringing up the rear is Zed's. Okay, so the KX droid closes the distance to you, Zed's, and KX droids don't carry blasters. This KX droid just hauls back with this fist, and you see like electricity kind of coiling across the fingers as it goes, and it's just gonna bring this fist down on you with a brawl check.
That's great.
Let's see. Your defense is 12. That absolutely hits. Let me roll some damage. Shock fists do 3d3. 3d plus 3. Whew. So that is 11 damage coming at you.
Oh Jesus.
Don't forget armor dice.
Yeah. So I've got 2 armor dice, and so they're just one use. Is that right?
Yeah, so they're one use for now, but I'm considering making it if you roll a 1, the dice goes away. But let's go one use for now and see how it plays out, and we can always adjust.
And so damage. So my hit points are like 14. So that would leave me like if I don't roll, I'd just be on 2.
Yeah. Yep,
Well,
that's right.
I think I'll use an armor dice.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
Yeah. All right. So I've only got 2 armor dice, so I'll just roll one of them, and I got a 4. So.
Okay, so that'll reduce the damage you're taking to 9 instead of 13.
Ouch.
Yeah. Ouch, indeed. So does that electric thing, does that have any other effect on me? Or?
So if the KX droid rolls a 6 on its destiny die, it gets to
okay.
stun you with the fist, but for now it's just sort of additional damage. So the electricity kind of crackles across the surface of your plating as this fist kind of bends the plates inward, and you sort of stagger backward.
Yeah. Yeah, so now I have like... where the this machine kills fascist things, there's now just like a giant dent, like in the middle of that.
no.
So
Oh no! All right. So that was the KX droid. Mokrik, you are up.
I'm gonna pop the smoke. Can I do both at the same time or no?
So you can do multiple actions per turn. You just reduce each check by one die if you do multiple things. So.
Okay, so is it throwing? Would that be what would that be? For just tossing the grenade? They're not damaged. They just create smoke.
Right. Yeah. So basically, just a throw check to make sure that they go where you're intending them to go.
Okay, is that just strength or athletics?
That'll be dexterity.
Oh, dexterity.
And then
okay.
add throw if you have it.
Yeah, I will do that at the penalty. I've got 4 dex, so I'll
Okay,
roll
cool.
3.
3 for
including the
each
force
roll.
dice.
Yep. Correct.
So first one is a 6 on the force die, so that's a lot. So that's 21
Okay,
for the
yeah.
first grenade.
Yep, that goes exactly where you want it to go.
And the second one is going to be 9.
Okay,
For the
great.
second one.
Both of them go where you want them to go. Where do you sort of situate the smoke? So the three of you are kind of all clustered together, and then Zed's is at a far distance away from you on the other side of the hangar.
Yeah. So the way I was imagining in the Star Destroyer hangars is it's almost like you've got the front floor is the opening, right?
Mhm.
And then the far back is where that droid came out from, and then the back on the left, that's like where most of the other action is and other doors and stuff.
Yep.
So I'm trying to smoke out those, so we only have to deal with like straight ahead, and then
Okay.
like the open hangars, like where ships come in, so that's probably empty. So
Cool.
I'm trying to keep that clear, and then I want to try to run in unless I don't have action left.
No, yeah, you can move in addition to your actions, so yeah,
Okay.
you're able to move.
So I'm gonna chunk, and then just start trying to run in.
Yeah,
so I can-
charging across the hangar.
Yeah.
You do so.
Reinforcements incoming.
Yeah, you see the
I hate
smoke pop and start filling the space as chaos continues to reign here, and the klaxons again, and you hear over the loudspeaker, intruder alert, all hands. There are boarders in the hangar. I repeat, there are boarders in the hangar. Dane, you're up.
Luckily, it sounds like that smoke did not obscure my line of sight, which is good.
It did not. Nope.
Yeah.
It's just going to make it really hard for anyone coming in to reinforce these stormtroopers and stuff. They're not going to have any idea what's going on in here.
Sounds perfect. Now, before combat started, I was aimed. Would that have counted as like using the scope?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. In that case, I'm at a far distance from this. What did you say? It was an X something.
Oh, the
droid.
KX droid. Yeah.
KX droid.
Yep.
That's at a far distance, so I will. I'll take a shot at it with that scope.
Awesome.
Which gives me a nice little plus 2D to that roll,
Awesome.
which I believe would be 60. There we go. And that is a lot of numbers, a lot of ones, which I don't like to see. I'm hoping it's enough though. We're looking at 15.
15 is enough to hit.
Whew. All
This
right.
thing has a defense of 13, so you're looking for 13 or better.
13 or better.
Cool. Give me some damage.
I'd love to. 15, 18, 19 points of damage.
19 points of damage. Okay, so the KX droid, I'm going to use some armor dice here. Oof. I'm going to use another one. Okay, so negating 6 of that. 13 damage total. Okay. Not too shabby. You actually deal some pretty significant damage to this droid. It doesn't go down, but the shot passes clean through this droid, sort of through the midsection. It's kind of wheeling back to punch Zed's again, and this shot just kind of through the droid, and it kind of like staggers backwards a little bit as, you know, like oil like spurts out from the wound and sparks kind of fly out.
Perfect.
Okay.
That is, unless there's, I'm not sure where I'm positioned. If I could get behind cover, where I am, if there was any.
Yeah, there's a ton of like crates and barrels and all kinds of shit. There's the catwalk that sort of circles the entire hangar where TIE pilots get in their fighters.
Okay.
And there's a small sort of like mini turbo lift that just goes like right up to the catwalk if you want to get up there.
Yeah, if that's within the one movement.
Yep, totally.
All right. Yeah. I'll just and then
That
kind of
is
get
so
into
awesome.
position up there.
Yeah, you zip up there and get yourself like a great vantage. You see the smoke that Mokrik popped out, and you've got a great vantage from up there.
Can I actually see from up here at all beyond the smoke? Like if there's forces coming, am I able to see over it, or is it too big?
I'll say that you'd be able to see over it from where you are. Yeah, from that
Awesome,
vantage point.
nice.
Yeah. So if there are reinforcements coming, you'll be able to spot them.
All right, yeah. And then I've got my eyes, at the edges of the field, just looking for any reinforcements.
Cool.
And that's my turn.
Great. All right. Varsden, you're up.
Now, technically, I said I was aiming at the commander. Do you have to have a target, or just aim gives you the +2 with the scope? Is what
I'll say that you're able to change your target to the droid since you were like ready to go. You had time to like switch targets and aim.
All right. First, the other question. Since I want to take the penalty because I want to do a second action, that's why I was asking if I had the aim.
Oh, nice.
From the scope bonus. If I want to start running towards Zeds and the other droid, like leaping over crates and stuff, is that...
So you can move in addition to an action on your turn. They're far from you though, so it'll be it'll be an action to get there basically, because you'll have to move twice.
Okay, so I don't have to take I can shoot and then run without a...
Yeah,
problem?
you won't reach them on this turn without using another action though. Yep, but you can start going that direction.
Okay, then I will not take the 1 dice penalty.
Cool.
Now, is it because of distance, or is it obstacles that are in the way that will take me 2 turns? So
just the distance, yeah, because it's 2 range bands, basically.
Right, so my 5D with the scope on the scatter blaster. I've been rolling a few 6s, but not on the Destiny die.
I've rolled
6
2
is still
so
a
far
6.
this game.
Yeah, that's awesome.
6. 15? Does that hit the big...
15
guy?
hits, yep. Looking for 13 or better on the big guy.
And that is also 5 die for the damage. Okay. 19 points of damage. Scatter blaster.
I'm gonna use the KX droid's remaining 2 armor dice here to negate 7 of that. So 12 damage coming at him. This shot, again, it's a scatter blaster, so it's just like a field of... And the KX droid just kind of like actually staggers into the console and has to like catch itself on the console as the force of this energy hits it.
And then it's rook to queen's position, and he takes off.
Awesome. Yeah, you pile over the crates and start just trucking across the hangar to get to Zed's. Stormtroopers. So there's a squad of stormtroopers in this hangar, and they're reacting as quickly as possible, but it's just, again, they were not expecting this to happen today, and so they're very quickly forming up and taking cover behind crates, and they're starting to send some fire across the hangar. They are gonna take shots at let's see here. I think they'll take shots at the 3 of you and not Zed, since the KX droid is engaged with Zed. So there's going to be 3 shots coming out from this squad of stormtroopers. They roll 2d plus 1 for blasters. This one's coming at Dane. Does not hit. This one's coming at Varsden. Oh. Does hit. And then the last one is coming at Makrik, who I believe is behind cover. So that does not hit.
No, I ran out into the hangar too.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Still doesn't hit. Only a 7 on the dice.
I'm a fat, chubby, moving target.
And yet the stormtroopers still can't hit you. But they do get a glancing shot on Varsden and deal... eight damage coming at you there, Varsden.
Okay. So I can I have 3 armor dice, so I can choose to roll 1, and then the dice is gone. correct?
Correct.
Okay, let's see. So 8 minus 4. Not bad.
Okay, 4 damage. Dane, from your vantage point, you see from one of the hallways that has smoke in front of it, you see 2 more stormtroopers who are kind of running out to join the squad that's behind cover. One of the stormtroopers is carrying this large power cell, and the other one has a E-web repeating blaster over their shoulder with a tripod, and they're like running out to get it set up.
Oh no. You guys all hear "oh no" over comms. Looks like we got some latecomers.
All right. Bottom of the initiative, Zeds. How's it going? You're up.
Yeah, not great, but we'll manage. All right, so the droid is like pushed back a bit. It's taken a few shots, but it's still functional. Is that right?
That's correct. Yep.
Okay. So let me. So is he? So it's not all the way in my face. Can I interact with the console while, or is it gonna be like difficult or?
No, I'll let you do that. Because the KX droid is a little bit less focused on you now that it's taking like significant fire from the other side.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I would like to interact with the console. Before I do so, I would like to yell out to everyone to hold on. And and then I'm going to I guess open attempt to open it up to vent the hangar.
Okay.
And deal with all of our problems at once.
Okay. Okay.
This is amazing.
Okay, so that'll be another a 20. Try to get on the computer's check, but go for it.
All right. So I'm going to use another character point dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, come on. I need the Force to help me out with this one. Let's go. Okay. Oh, I did. I got a 6 on the thingy.
Yay!
But
Yes.
I actually rolled a lot of 1s though.
Oh.
So let's see. All right. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. $21.
Oh. Okay. All right. Let's get dexterity checks from everybody, please, or or strength, whichever is higher.
Okay.
I hope I didn't kill everyone in the party just now.
Yeah, it might be an early end tonight.
So straight up strength, or
You can add athletics if you want, and if you're doing a dex check, I'll allow you to add agility if you want.
3 6s, none of them on the Force.
I got 17.
Okay,
Force
we're
is
looking
with
for
me.
10 or better.
Oh, I've got it.
25.
Okay, yeah. I feel like this is not the first time that Zeds has vented the atmosphere in a ship that you've all been
Not
in.
a
I
chance.
feel like everyone kind of already knew that this was going to happen.
It's
Can,
like,
can I be like anchoring myself with my synth rope that I've got?
yeah,
Just like clip it to my belt and then slam it to like a tie wing or something.
I like
Yeah.
to think that we all have special belts designed for when this kind of thing happens.
for Zed's protocol, like
For
Zed's
Zed's
protocol
protocol.
is in effect.
I just slammed the console, and
Yeah, there's this
everyone
like
kind of
like sucking sound as everything starts getting sucked out of the hangar.
all of Margaret's smoke just gets.
Basically,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
all gone.
Yep, the smoke clears. 3 stormtroopers go and just out into space, and you see all of them just like pinwheeling out into space. The K2 droid kind of grabs onto the console and just stays put. And a few of the stormtroopers have the wherewithal to kind of like grab on and hold on. But now the atmosphere is getting sucked out. So,
So So my intent was to just do it pretty quickly, but if that has to be a turn, then that's...
No, that's absolutely great. So you're able to basically flick it on and off. So you basically just like...
Yeah.
Yeah. So 3 of the stormtroopers get pulled out. There's now just 3 of them left. There's one still behind the barricade, and then there's the 2 coming out with the E-web.
Okay.
Just leave it open.
Yeah. You're like, I can do it again. Okay, that was awesome. Go ahead and give yourself a character point there, Gwen. That was great.
Nice.
Okay, anything else on your turn, Zeds? You want to move or do anything?
I do kind of want to move. I do want to try and get away kind of from this close combat droid, because if I take another hit like that, I'm just gonna like run past Varsden and Makrik, basically, just like
As they're running toward you, you're running past them. Yeah. Yep. That's great. Cool.
Yeah. And if there's like any other consoles around, like I'll get to like somewhere there if I can, but if not, like at least kind of behind cover.
Cool. Yep. Yeah. All of the crates have slid about 12 feet forward from their original positions. Okay. The KX droid kind of swivels its head, and these optic sensors just like, and they see Varsden kind of charging with this vibroblade, and the KX droid starts charging towards you, Varsden, to meet you. And as you're wheeling back with the vibroblade, the KX droid is wheeling back with a fist, and it's gonna try and punch you. So, KX droid, 3D plus 3. Okay. Oh, man, that was a shitty roll. Nope. All right, so the KX droid just completely whiffs this this punch. I imagine that you either just parry it with the vibroblade or just like duck underneath it, Varsden.
Yeah, probably like a parry type of thing.
Yeah. Makrik, you're up.
So if I've anchored myself with the synth rope as I'm kind of being lifted up from being sucked, I imagine, and just start gunning while being like anchored in down towards the door.
That's
and
amazing.
As it closes on you, like settles down and it's like smoking. But I will roll.
You're like
40.
cackling as you're in the air, just.
So I'll roll 40 on the stormtroopers or the hallway, whatever the situation is. So the repeater's still there, right?
Yeah, they're like getting it ready to get set up. Yep.
Okay. I want to take out the other guy because
cool.
I have a feeling that we have a sniper gonna deal with the other.
Ooh.
I got that taken care of.
Yep.
So that is gonna be 11.
11 is just enough to hit. Go ahead and
cool.
roll damage. Oh, actually, it is not because he's behind cover, so it just misses.
Cool. Well, I don't mind riddling his cover as I'm like floating. I like land.
Yep.
Like, yeah. And so from there, as Zed runs past me, I will kind of like unclip myself and just run to cover. And then that's my turn.
Great. Okay. Dane, you're up. You're up on the catwalk. What do you want to do?
Now, these guys setting up this E-web, you said they had a battery. Do you think if
they
I
do.
targeted that, I might be able to...
You could absolutely try and do that. Yeah, it's got pretty thick plating around it, but I imagine that you're like, if I can hit it just right, I can pierce that plating and get to the energy core.
I remember those guys in my old squad had one just like this, and there was a spot. I saw it on that battery. That was, if a blaster bolt hit it, I'm pretty sure it would go.
Yep. Time to test that theory.
So I'm gonna leverage that knowledge.
Okay. Let's go ahead and we'll set up a TN for the blaster's check. We'll make it 15 to try and hit that specific spot.
All right. I'm gonna use a character point.
Okay. Good call.
Seems like a good time to do so. That's going to put me at 5D for the roll, plus 2. And fairly high numbers. You said 15?
Yep.
We're looking at 16.
Okay. Let's call this frag grenade damage, maybe?
Frag grenade damage. Okay, that's 4D then.
4D damage, yeah. On well, let's make it 60 damage.
Okay, I'll take
60
that.
damage. Wow, that's a lot of damage.
Sure. Classic. All right, 6D damage. Ooh, mixed bag there. 6, 12, 14, 16.
16 damage. Okay.
Yeah.
So, they get the E-web on the tripod, and the stormtrooper kind of does the like gets it ready to go, and you hear it go, and he kind of like swivels it, and you go, you take the shot, and this battery pack, this thing just goes. There's this massive explosion of energy that sort of ripples out in this wave, and both stormtroopers go hurtling across the hangar. One of them lands on his head, and you hear this sickening sort of crack as he lands. The other one kind of like gets up. The armor's like half melted on his front, and he picks up his blaster rifle and prepares to try and do his best, try and do his hardest. But you see that the E-web is completely slagged. It's completely melted in the energy wave.
That one is planned.
Nicely done. Go ahead and give yourself a character point, Zach. That was cool.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Varsden, you're going toe-to-toe with this KX security droid. It is your turn.
Now, I have a question. If it's possible to get up on a crate as it's sliding by and jump off, does that give me potential bonus damage if I do hit in a melee attack?
Sure. I'll say you can, if you do a cool little jumpy move, yeah, you can get some extra damage, yeah.
Okay. Would you say that's athletics?
Yeah, we'll make it an athletics check.
So I'm doing 2 actions, so I'll roll 4D plus 2 to jump up. 11.
11 is just enough. You do it.
Okay. 13.
Even better.
The plus 2.
Even better.
And then I leap off as it's sliding by, get some momentum, jump off, 2-hand, and slam it right down on the droid.
Okay.
Ooh, this doesn't look good. I didn't even break 10. I got 9. I got a bunch of 1s and a 2.
So 9 damage?
No. 9. I thought I had to...
Oh, 9 to attack. 9 to attack. Yeah, not quite enough to get through this thing's armor. So you you do have... Do you want to use a character point? You can use it after the fact if you want to add it to the roll.
Oh, if that's the case, then I'm going to use a character point.
Can you use multiple character points at the same time, or no?
Just one at a time. Okay. That's a good question.
4. So 12.
Still not quite enough. Just not enough. So that you actually make contact with the vibroblade, but it just kind of like shears through the outer layer and doesn't hit anything vital. So there's just this like and sparks come flying out. It looks really cool because you're doing like a little like back sort of jump off the thing, bring it down 2-handed, but you don't do any significant damage to the KX droid. All right. Stormtroopers. Go ahead.
Sorry, how bad does the droid look?
It doesn't look great. It's still functioning, but you see that there are 2 like pretty significant blaster holes in this thing, and you can see its innards have some lines have been severed. It's leaking oil. There are sparks kind of coming out of it. Okay. Stormtroopers. There are 2 stormtroopers left. Both of them just using blaster rifles. The one that is kind of laying on the floor with half-melted armor brings the blaster rifle up, and it sees you up on the catwalk, Dane, you know, kind of tracking where the shot came from, and it's going to take some shots up to the catwalk. Don't forget your destiny die. Oh, that's a 6 on the Destiny die. So
Ugh.
6,
I didn't know the
10,
enemies roll Destiny
14,
dice too, that's
17. That's definitely going to hit.
Yeah. Yeah, that hits.
And then 9, 10 damage coming at you.
Ooh, I'll go ahead and use an armor die.
Yeah.
Reduce 2 of that for 8.
Okay.
Now,
So-
real quick, armor
Yeah.
dice are spent on a use or spent when you roll 1?
Spent on use.
Okay.
I was considering having it be a 1 is when they go away. I'm definitely not done tinkering with like damage, hit points, armor yet, but
Right.
Yeah.
almost got it.
I feel like for this game, it works better as like this specific one. It works better as they go away.
Right, yeah,
Yeah,
because
I
it feels a
agree.
little bit more deadly, yeah, for sure.
But in a more heroic style game,
Mhm.
like,
It's really
that's
true.
what I want.
It's hard with Star Wars RPGs because people don't really die in Star Wars, so it's always like it's difficult to just be like, I don't know, your character dies. I guess I don't know. That doesn't really happen, but so there's it's not a precise shot. This stormtrooper is essentially just like firing from the hip, from the ground, just kind of wildly firing, and a couple of the stray shots kind of hit your armor, Dane. Okay, and then the second stormtrooper is going to fire at Makrik. So that's 3D plus 1. Oh my god, another 6 on the Destiny die. 6, 11, 15, 16 definitely hits. And damage is going to be... Wow, 12 damage coming at you, Makrik.
Oh, jeez.
Can I roll more than one armor die? Or is it one?
Yeah, you can roll more than one, I think.
Okay, because if so, I'll roll 2 dice, and I'll lose the 2 uses for those.
You can choose to roll
But that's
an
lower
armor
by
die.
8.
Okay, cool.
So now I've got 1 left. As probably like the whole blast vest just kind of like detaches, and
Yeah, yeah.
it's like, well, oh well. But how much was it total though? Because I
12 total.
Okay, so I take 4 damage.
4 damage, yeah. You like take the blast vest off, and everyone realizes that Makrik is just like ripped underneath, just like
Yeah.
shredded, Gran. All right, that was the stormtroopers. Zeds, you are up. You've managed to, in your sort of retreat from the KX droid, you find yourself at a wall console. It's not like, it's not as powerful a computer console as the one you were standing at, but you can potentially do some tricky shit with this thing too.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So I do want to interact with the console. Is it in any way connected to like droid control systems, or is it not that kind of high level?
Probably not connected to droid systems. But you could probably access security and stuff like that if you wanted to.
Yeah. I think I think what I'll do this turn is just kind of get behind cover and fire at that. Fire at the droid.
Okay.
So wait. So do I have 2? I've got 2 actions. Could I also, after do that, could I also like duck behind cover and like maybe try a repair check on myself?
Yeah. So you get 1 action and then you can move for free. So if you want to do an action in addition to attacking, it'll be a -1d to your checks.
Okay. So can I take the -1 dice onto the shot, and then
It'll be to both.
it'll be on
To
both?
both checks.
Okay.
Yep. Mhm.
All right. I'll still do that, I think, because
Okay, cool.
I think a stray shot can pretty much wipe me out at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
All right. So yeah. So I'll run, but like I'll pop up from behind my cover and shoot at the droid.
Okay.
So, which isn't that much actually. We're only on. So it's -1 dice.
-1 dice. Yep. Mhm.
Okay. I was just as before I rolled it. I was like, all I need is I need to get at least a 6 on the Destiny dice, and I got 1. So we'll see what happens.
Nice.
So hey, oh no, wait, I think this still misses. So I got 6. 11 misses. Is that right?
11 does miss. Yeah, just barely.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I'll pop up, shoot it, and then I'll duck back down, and I'll attempt a repair check on myself.
Great.
So, I pull out my little repair kit from my bag of tools. So got pretty much all the different repair kits that you can take.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that's a technical test. Is that right?
Yep, and you can add droids to that since you're working on a droid yourself.
I am. Make one of those, and because I have, is there a bonus for having the repair kit? Is that right? Droid toolkit +1 to droids check to repair or modify.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. So I will do that. Yeah. Okay. Oh, nice. So 12, then 15, 24.
24 is more than enough, so you can either repair 3 dice worth of HP or restore all of your armor dice.
Oh. I think I'm gonna go with the 3 dice. Do I roll a destiny dice on this as well?
You do not.
No.
Good question.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, that's great.
13. Nice. 13 HP back. That's great.
That brings me back up. Yes.
Feeling
Alright,
good.
Cool. I might survive now. So yeah, she's just she's like swearing in droid as she's like futzing around with her internals and wrapping tape around her arm to keep it together and
Yes.
yeah.
Awesome. Okay. That was Zed, so we're back up at the top of the initiative. This KX droid who will not die.
Yeah.
It's so funny. The first 2 shots against it were so good, and I was like, "Man, they're gonna kill this thing in no time." But he's been sticking around. This KX droid is gonna try and land another punch on you, Varsden. So I'm definitely gonna use this destiny die again because I've been rolling lots of 6s with it.
Yeah, Jesus.
So we got 3 + 3 on a brawl. Oh my God! This is ridiculous. This dice is ridiculous. Okay, so that's 6, 11, 17, 21. I think hits you, Varsden. And that'll be 3. Oh, and the stun fist. You'll be stunned now too.
Oh, no.
So Varsden, that'll be 6 damage, and you are stunned, which means you cannot act until the end of your next turn.
I can still roll an armor die?
You can, yes.
Well, that was a 1.
Oh no!
Oh no!
I'm still above half. So
That's good.
I got a lot of hit points. Okay, then I guess I'm doing nothing.
Yeah, so this fist, there's this kind of crackle of electricity, and as the fist slams into you, you just kind of, and you sort of like seize up as the electricity courses through your body, and sort of your weapons and gear and stuff.
Yeah, the way I see it, he's already, there's some damage to Varsden's armor, and then he just punched and cracked another hole in it, and in the armor, it managed to connect with my chest a bit, and that's probably right into my heart area, and it's like, and that's what stunned him a bit, almost like the shock paddles to
defibrillator.
Defibrillator to someone who's actually still conscious. Like, doesn't need it.
Yep. All right. That brings us to Makrik, and then Dane, you're on deck for next.
Okay. So I don't know if I'm paying attention enough to really like look over and see Varsden, and even if I do see it with one of his eyes, maybe my weapon is not suited for like assisting in that scenario. So I'm just gonna lay it thick on the Stormies.
Okay.
How many are left?
Just 2. There's one kind of laying out in the open, and then there's the second one who's ducking behind crates behind cover.
Are they in the same like range band where I can do the strafing? with
They
Outen?
are. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, they're close
Then I
enough where
would-
you can hit both of them.
I would like to do so, but I would like to nullify the minus with a character point if I can.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I'll still roll 4 dice plus 1. I'm gonna use these to be the force. That's gonna be 2 6s plus 5. That's 17.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay, and the light repeater is 6 damage, or 6 dice plus 1. Now, is this just divided by 2, or are the dice on each?
So
'Cause
I'm
it's
not
just a split. So if I roll,
yeah, that's a good question. I'll say let's rule it that you basically you can split the dice between them, sort of however you want.
Okay.
So you could do 3 and 3, you could do 2 and 4, whatever you want.
I'll just say even. I rolled 9 dice, and I'll just do 18
okay,
total. So I'll do 9 9.
9 and 9. Okay.
Yep.
Let's see here. So the stormtrooper that was already half melted from the energy cell blowing up is absolutely just decimated by this fire. And so you just lay into him with this with the fire from the blaster and take him out. The one behind cover takes a couple shots, pew, pew, and is still just limping away, still upright. So there's just one stormtrooper left now.
Okay. Yeah, I will stay kind of by my crate that I've been sort of hiding behind, and
Home
that's it.
sweet crate. Cool. Okay. Dane, you're up. There's one stormtrooper left, and then the KX droid.
All right. So correct me if this is wrong, because I don't want to abuse it if it's a mistake. But if I take 2 actions on one turn, one of them to use my scope and aim,
Mm-hmm.
and then another to fire, I'll take the -1d penalty from 2 actions, but a +2 to the shot. So I end up with a plus anyway. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. And I can't remember if I did that on purpose or not, but let's rule it that way.
Okay. I didn't want to abuse
Yeah.
it if it was a flaw or anything
No,
unintentional.
I appreciate that. But yeah, so let's rule it that way.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I'd like to now. Is this a droid at far range? Otherwise, it won't matter.
Yes. Yeah, we'll say
Okay.
it is.
All right, then I will do that and end up with a 5d for this attack. Testing die. And it's 10, 14.
14 is enough. Go ahead and roll damage. Let's see if we
Alright.
can finish this boy off.
Get rid of it finally.
I'm hoping. All right, 5d plus 4 damage. Pretty good odds there. Probably dead. We're looking at a number. Like I said, math is hard.
It is.
22 damage.
Whew. All right. How do you
Yeah.
take this guy out? Go ahead and describe what it looks like.
Just kind of punched through Varsden's armor straight to his heart, shocked him. He's kind of frozen there, maybe a little wide-eyed, and then a sharp blast from my rifle kind of comes straight down onto the forehead of this droid, pierces a neat little hole through maybe one of its eyes, and it just kind of is there, powers down, and then
Yeah, and I almost imagine like this droid is getting ready to it has like both arms around Varsden, is getting ready to like lift him up and probably like
yeah.
slam him on the ground. And as the shot goes through and this droid just kind of like falls to its knees and then slumps over, Varsden essentially like falls on top of it as he's sort of coming to after the stun. That's great. Awesome. Good job, Dane. All right. KX.
Unfortunately, I'm stunned,
Oh,
What
you
do
are
you-
still stunned. Yep.
so I don't know that you just saved me.
All right. There's one stormtrooper left who, God bless him.
Is
He
this the burnt one?
No, that guy got killed. That guy got killed by Mockrick. So this
that's
stormtrooper.
Force bless him.
Yeah, yeah. He sort of is still taking shots from cover, and you hear him on the comms like calling for reinforcements, like we need more people down here in the hangar. And he's gonna take a shot, again at Dane, just kind of like the most obvious threat at this point after taking out that KX droid. So 6, 15, and then that definitely hits, right? Yep, and then damage.
Oh dear.
It's gonna be 7 damage coming at you there, Dane.
Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna have to use an armored die.
Okay.
Question: can you use character die rolls?
No, you cannot. That's a great question, but no.
So if I roll a 1, I'm still knocked to 0.
Okay.
So I need a 2 or better on this armored die.
Okay.
I get.
What did you get?
I rolled a 2 on the die.
Oh.
I'm down to 1 hit point.
Okay.
I'm at 1 hit point.
Oh my god. Okay.
There's just like a pained grunt over Con. Hanging on.
There is oh, Zeds, you're up.
Yeah. So, yeah, I suppose I'll try and take out this last droid. Stormtrooper, and so they'd be at far, right? Obviously.
Yes,
yeah?
correct.
So, don't think my shotgun's good at that. All right, so yeah, I might just actually, can I make it over to Varsden?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to because I've healed myself up and strapped myself back together. I'm going to run over to Varsden and get him back on his feet.
Okay, great.
Take him behind cover, I suppose. And so because it's far, that'd be like 2. Is that like 2 move actions, or can I still have an action after that?
Yeah, so Varsden is, I think, 1 range band closer, so you could make it out to him with 1 move, and then it would be an action if you want to try and drag him behind cover.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, I'll do that. So I'll run out and drag him up and take him behind cover and be like, shaking him like, Varsden! Did you get my jacket?
Oh my god. Amazing. And Varsden, you are sort of, you're coming to now.
I like slap him like.
Yeah, you probably see the jacket is like tucked in somewhere. It's like he tucked it in somewhere into a pouch of some sort, even part of it, just so it doesn't.
Yeah.
If it's still there, he's like, "What?"
So as I'm holding you, I notice it, and I grab it and just drop you on the floor and put my jacket back on. And that's my turn.
Varsden, I saved your life. Where's my fucking jacket? This last stormtrooper is still there, and Dane, you see first this like huge, almost a whole platoon of stormtroopers is running into the hangar, and all of you kind of like get ready, and as they kind of clear the corridor, 2 U-wings come up into the hangar now that the ray shields are down. The door slides open like a fucking minivan, and there's rebel commandos there with repeaters just... and they just start raining death on these stormtroopers. From one of the U-wings, you hear over the comms, "We've got this, Defiance! Get up to the bridge!"
Take it to the bridge.
All right, looks like the cavalry arrived just on time. Let's get going, guys.
Yeah, I lift Vars, like I pull Varsden back up after I dropped him. Be like, let's go, and try and rush everyone out.
Yeah, and you guys have got time. You actually you get in a turbo lift to get up to the bridge, and you have time as the lift is going up to use med packs, repair kits, whatever you guys want to use.
Gonna have to use one of those.
Yeah.
How do
So-
they work again?
So med packs do you make a technical check, medicine, to heal 3 dice worth of HP. You don't have to make the check yourself, though. You can have someone else make it for you if you...
So,
Yeah, the droid is also a medic
Yeah.
droid.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I'm good at repairing all kinds of things, including biological beings. Apparently.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
should I make a test for everyone? Like, has
I
everyone
think
got
that would be
higher than-
appreciated. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have 2 med packs. If that.
I've got a
helps.
few as well.
I like take a meg pack from everyone because
Yep.
everyone's got
Mhm.
one. Do you want me to roll for each one, Matt, or like
Let's
a
just-
group roll thing? Or...
Let's just do one roll to see if you can just patch everybody up.
Yeah. Okay, so I got 5 dice. Oh, +1 because isn't that what the medical kit does? It gives you a +1 to it.
Yeah, +1 or +1 to technical medicine checks to heal. Yep.
Yes. So 10, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22.
Yeah.
Sorry, 23. No, yeah, 22. Sorry.
So
Can't remember the schematics of Star Destroyer, but knows where all the
Yeah.
organs go. And
yeah, putting everything
Human
back where it
schematics.
goes. Yeah.
Human
Human
schematics.
schematics.
Human schematics. What is HK-47 call organic
Meat bags.
meat bags?
Meat
Yeah.
bags, yeah.
Yep. The schematics of meat bags.
How many
s-
is that again to heal?
3 dice worth of HP for everyone who used a med pack. Go ahead and roll that yourselves.
Oh, one more than I needed.
Yeah.
Easily
nice.
enough.
The
And
same.
the question I have, mesh tape. Is there
Yeah.
a roll associated with that? Or is it just like duct tape? You just patch the holes.
Yeah, you can use that on armor, right?
Yeah, so mesh tape is it's a TN10 technical. It would be armament if you're trying to get armor die back to basically restore 1 armor die. Yeah, 1 armor
I
die.
have 2 if someone is willing to patch up my armor.
Yeah, I have that too. And I think I would rather try to spend that myself as well.
Okay, yeah. So
That's
if you want to hand your mesh tape to Zeds,
Yeah,
you
no,
can do
you
that
can
too.
do it.
Yeah.
He's like
Yeah.
swearing in droiders the whole time. Like, you guys need to take better care of yourself, even though she, like, just before.
Well, you're not looking too good yourself.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
Yeah,
so-
the whole time I'll just be like standing with the basically machine gun like down the
Yeah,
hallway
cool.
keeping
Yeah.
watch.
Alright, so that's like 12. I rolled a Destiny dice 6, so 12, 13, 14, 15. 25.
Yeah, I
There
think
you
that'll
go.
do it. Yep. So anyone who uses mesh tape, you get an armor die back.
Awesome.
So can
And
I
you
can
just-
use 2?
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
Get 2 back. You just hear
Yeah.
like
Forgot
of
to
the
duct tape
yeah,
everyone.
yep.
This little elevator shaft fills with the sound of tearing duct tape.
Yes, yep.
Makrik, do you have enough smoke grenades?
I'm out of smoke grenades. I used
Oh,
them
here.
both.
I'll toss 2 to you.
Okay, I'll catch them and replenish.
Essentially, Varzin is the pack mule.
Yeah,
So
I like that.
He still has a lot of grenades on him.
is this lift going straight to the bridge?
Yes. Yep, the turbo lift's going straight to the bridge. So it won't open up into the bridge, but it'll basically be like open up corridor and then blast doors to the bridge.
This sounds like a great spot for those grenades, boss.
Yeah.
You need more? He has some. But you want frag grenades, stun grenades?
I mean, if they had an E-web down there, they might be defending the bridge with one. Or not, but
I don't know.
Can't hurt.
Zed's pulled
You
out
see,
a-
he has them all over him. Just grab one if you need one.
Zed's pulls out a thermal detonator and like chucks it up in the air, kind of thing. Be like, "Oh, we've got grenades for them, all right."
How many are you grabbing, and what kind?
I'm gonna grab. If you have a frag grenade, I'll grab one just in hand because I'm also like the
Okay.
machine gun.
I had
with a
6.
light repeater.
I had 6, so you're taking 1. Yeah, I got 5 now. You want another one or no?
I'll take another one off.
2
you.
for
Alright.
1, smokes frags. What are we doing here?
All right, so you take 2
I
frag
want a
grenades.
cheeseburger.
I'll trade you 1 frag for 1 smoke. Eh?
Okay. You could just take. Yeah, you can take a frag if you want. No, you don't have to give me another.
Anyone want sheep for brick? Sheep for brick?
And I have stun grenades as well.
Use that in the bridge because there's so many like little like control panel ports that if they've got people trying to hide away.
Oh,
stuff.
you're a little better at throwing than I am, so I got 3D plus 1 to throw. So if do you want some 2 stun?
Yeah, I will take. I'll take 2 stuns.
All right.
Well, I'm pretty sure that little vacuum trick Zed's pulled may have triggered the alarm, so to speak. So I'm sure they'll expect us.
My assumption is when the lift doors are open, there'll be a barricade of stormtroopers shooting at us. That's when the detonator goes off. Then you go open the door, and we're in the bridge, and then I stun everybody, and then game over.
The
actually says this.
Yeah.
as you're nearing the top of the lift shaft, there's this kind of like, and the turbo lift stops, and you hear over the PA system in the Star Destroyer, "Rebels have entered the ship. Prepare for ramming." And you like all feel this like lurch as the engines kick on, and both ex-Imperials, you know that standard procedure if a Imperial Star Destroyer is taken is to essentially scuttle it any way possible.
Oh, well, that's
So
not a
you
good
know
sign.
that you can imagine that this Star Destroyer is now being pointed at the Mon Cal cruiser and prepared to just drive through it.
Oh, crap.
And
Alright, I guess we have
again,
a
the
bit of a
blood
time
the
limit now.
blood red emergency lights click on, the klaxons blaring, the turbo lift is stopped.
Well, get it back working. Zeds, dude, turn it back on.
So wait, so stop that like it stopped, yeah? So
Yeah,
it
it's stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's stopped. It's not moving anymore. It seems the turbo lifts have been shut down.
She looks at everyone, she's
Oh,
like,
no.
get ready, and then she pushes the door open button.
Nothing happens.
So, oh, she like
great.
smashes it a few times, like,
Here, I'll just set my gun down, and like, and I'll try to like force the doors open.
Ooh,
Oh,
yeah.
cool.
We'll do a strength with athletics.
Okay, so that's 3 plus 2. So that's. Oh, I forgot to roll a blue die. I rolled 662 also. Okay, with the force die, that's also a 664.
Hey, woo!
As a force die. So
Wow.
4. So that's 18.
So you get your cyber arm like wedged in the door, and you
that's
start.
awesome.
There's like this moment where the doors just aren't budging, and you see like the veins popping in the other arm, and the cyber arm's going, and then
cool.
like you just like start prying them apart, and you see the corridor open in front of you.
Awesome.
Is there anyone waiting for us in that corridor?
There's not. It's actually like forebodingly empty and silent. You see that there's a short corridor, the blast doors to the bridge closed, and just the blood red emergency lights with the klaxon, which is just like white noise at this point to you guys.
Yeah, yeah. Alright, Zed's, like, mimics human, she, like, cracks her knuckles, and she's like, alright, time to get work on this door. And she's gonna go up and rig the door to blow.
Awesome. What is everyone else doing while Zeds is doing that?
Just keeping my eye down the corridor, keeping a. And I'm probably gonna stand hidden, like covered, but stand in front of everyone else as a shield.
Have you got
Alright.
your sword out or your shotgun out?
I'm gonna say I have a sword out, but I have a grenade in hand as well.
Oh, yeah, cool.
How long is this corridor? In terms of range bands, I guess.
So we'll say it's It's like far distance, two range bands from the elevator to the blast doors.
I'll exit the elevator shaft and just kind of I'll go off to the side, get down on a knee, and I'll fix my scope on the door.
Great. Okay, awesome. All right. Zeds, you move up to the door, and you're rigging explosives, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah. I'm going to use my my thermal detonator to blow through the blast door.
Oh, that's right. I gave you a thermal detonator.
You
Awesome. Let's call this a...
I was
I don't
thinking
know.
it was like a gunnery heavy weapons. is what
Yeah,
it was.
we'll call it a gunnery check to you're basically setting the thermal detonator on a remote, timer or detonator basically that you can detonate it from a distance.
Yeah, because I gave myself a knack in gunnery for that. Like, she might not have been programmed for it, but she found out that she's got she's good at doing this kind of shit.
Yeah.
What am I looking for? I'm looking for the rule for knack. Where's that again? I can't remember what it is.
I think it just gives you +1 to a skill, I believe.
No, it's reroll ones.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Forgot about that.
I like reroll ones.
Point,
Alright.
this is the bridge door. Or did we get to? I missed it.
Yeah,
Okay,
this is the bridge door.
This
Yep.
is okay.
Yep.
If that's the case, I'm gonna ready a frag and a stun.
Okay. Yep.
Cool,
Yep.
and grenades.
Ready to go. Yep.
Alright, so I'm going to use a character point because I actually only still do have 2 dice in this. So I'm going to roll 3 dice and then re-rolling 1. Because if I get a 1, hey, it came out. I rolled a 1.
Woohoo! You get to re-roll it.
So hopefully it's going to be good because I didn't roll too great. There we go. That's a 5. Okay, so 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
13. Okay, you rig the thermal detonator. You get it like it's magged locked to the door. You set up the remote detonator. It's ready to go.
I look back to all you guys and be like, "Is everyone ready?" With like my hand on the detonator button.
I'm gonna be like eyeballing the distance between the door to us and kind of like, should I get back? And then I look at the grenades and then I just step a little forwards instead. You'll be fine.
I kind of get behind a little bit of cover and just fucking slam it.
Yep.
And blow the door.
There's like a thermal detonator it's like a mini nuke. It's just a small thermonuclear device. And so there's this strange sort of absence of sound as 1 second the door is there and the next the door is completely bent inwards. And then there's this just resounding thunderclap and this intense wave of heat that hits all of you. And even at a distance, you all are kind of thrown backwards, staggered backwards as this thermal detonator goes off. And you actually see the bulkheads are like bent outwards. They sort of like swell with the sheer like kinetic energy of this thermal detonator going off. And all of you are just... and there's just smoke and fire everywhere, and you can barely see through the smoke into the bridge. You have the vague notion that there are forms beyond the smoke inside the bridge, but you also see that there are several people like just laying completely just charred, death, almost unrecognizable as people.
Yeah.
That feels pretty successful. She like dusts her hands off again and pulls out her shotgun ready to go.
Yeah, I'm chucking the stun.
You're chucking the stun?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. Give me a throw check. Or, wait, is it throw or gunnery? I wrote this
I
game.
think for throwing.
throw.
Yeah.
Yep, throw. Okay.
Okay, that's 14.
Yep, that'll do it. And go ahead and roll damage. 1d plus your throw.
Okay. Thank you. Is that the force die then? Because.
Yeah, so just if you're just rolling 1, it's just the destiny die. Yep.
Okay, that's a 3.
Okay. So there's...
And- Oh,
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you
I was
go
gonna
ahead.
say, I was tossing my grenade in as well. It was
Do
a
it.
stun grenade.
Yep.
I got 6 on the force die.
Oh, nice.
Another
Nice.
6.
Okay.
And
Oh my goodness.
so a 4 and a 2, so 18.
18. Yep, that'll do it.
Plus 1. Yeah, plus 1, 19. So I toss the grenade in, the stun grenade, and it does 1d of damage plus 1. Okay, only 3 damage spread and stuff. So,
But everyone is stunned. So the thermal detonator goes off, and then 2 stuns pop. And there's just this like crackle of energy as those go off. The 4 of you, sort of, if you don't mind me narrating, you just enter the bridge, sort of rank and file, you know, checking corners. Everyone on the bridge is either dead, stunned, or too bewildered to even act. The bridge it's sort of this long gangway with catwalks on either side, and then there's these kind of like trenches where all these personnel are sort of working on different computers and gunnery systems. There's smoke everywhere. Everyone's coughing, and you see as you're moving through the bridge, you can see in the view screen, you see the Star Destroyer is heading right for the Mon Cal cruiser. There's a black uniformed officer who has blood coming from her ears from the thermal detonator going off, and she's kind of slumped against the computer console. She looks at the 4 of you and says, "Long live the Empire," and just slumps dead.
And I will go.
that wasn't that long.
Yeah. Nice. I just walk up to her and just like unceremoniously just push her out of the chair and get to the console and attempt to shut down the turbo lasers.
Okay.
Are there anyone else here in the bridge that's kind of like up?
No, every you see that there were troopers in here, but all of them are dead. Their armor's scorched and melted. The only people in here are officers, and any of them that even have like the wherewithal to act are instantly putting their hands up to the 4 of you.
Okay. I want to try to herd them like away from all the consoles and stuff.
Yeah.
Under threat of being shot.
Great. Okay, Zeds, go ahead and give me a computers check.
Yep. Okay, so 10, 11, 12, 15, 20.
You very quickly set to work. You put in some old Imperial code cylinders, access the computers, and shut down the turbo laser batteries. They instantly like dip down, stop firing at the ships that are passing by, and you change the Star Destroyer's course, and it kind of just scrapes by that Mon Cal cruiser. It's a little too close for comfort. There's actually, you actually hear like a little grinding sound as you just barely bump up against it. There's a kind of a cheer that goes up over the comms as this happens, and pretty soon afterwards, some more rebel commandos enter the bridge, having dealt with the stormtroopers down in the hangar. You clear the bridge, secure it, and the 4 of you are standing there as the Mon Cal general enters the bridge, his hands behind his back. He nods, he looks to the 4 of you and says, "You managed to capture a Star Destroyer and live to tell the tale. True rebels, if I've ever seen any."
You keep sending us to die, and we keep coming back.
It's because of commandos like you that we're going to win this war. Now, as we, before we do a star wipe into the credits here, I'd like to give each of you a chance to kind of narrate an epilogue for your character here as the Star Destroyer is captured. All of the personnel are led away in manacles to be imprisoned or hopefully turned to fight for the rebellion. But let's check in with the four of you before we end our session here. So we'll go ahead and we'll start with Zeds.
So after the smoke's cleared, literally and figuratively, Zeds is basically going around the ship and finding all the Imperial droids and kind of talking to them and explaining to them that they don't need to be following the orders of the organics. She's trying to continue the work of good old L337. Is that what her name was?
From Solo. Yeah.
She's trying to tell all the droids about like droid emancipation and she's
Take off the restraining bolts.
Yeah,
taking off everyone's restraining bolts.
Yeah.
And telling them all about droid rights, and she's got a little bit of a following with her through the ship as the rest of the rebels are
awesome.
Trying to come to place and sorting out everyone else.
Yeah, I imagine there's like astromech droids and even like a few of those little mouse droids, the little wink, like the little mouse droids, and even a couple of security droids that are listening in. And I don't know why, but I just had this image of Zeds with like a necklace of restraining bolts around her neck.
That's awesome.
Like just that she's pulled off of droids.
She also put a rebel helmet on one of those mouse droids. So there's one cruising around with a rebel pilot helmet.
That's adorable. I love it.
Love that.
Best friends now.
Best friends forever. Dane, what is the last scene that we see with Dane?
As the Imperial prisoners are kind of escorted off, Dane kind of follows along, and as they're kind of put in their holding cell, he kind of starts this kind of like, I know what it's like to be on the other side, and kind of does his best to act as a scared straight kind of keynote speaker, trying to just explain like, I used to be a scout trooper, I used to be in the Legion, and look where I am now, as a way to help to convert these people, maybe set them on a better path.
Awesome. I love it. Varsden, you found an adorable dog aboard the Star Destroyer.
I think it's a Womprat. Yeah.
It's a Womprat? Oh my god.
Actually, can I pass and go at the end?
Yeah, absolutely. Sure. Makrik.
Okay. Yeah, I think kind of as everything is shifting back onto Rebel control and he's now temporarily out of a job and just kind of watching. He's just watching everyone else kind of take over. He's gonna sidle up to Varsden and just be like, "Can I have one of your death sticks?" And he'll take one from you if you're willing to part with it. And then as soon as he gets back planet side or to wherever, he's pretty much just gonna go to a bar and start gambling, watch a pod race, and he's a mercenary and he's just waiting for the next mission. As soon as his comm buzzes, it's time to go.
Yep.
Puts out the death stick, buckles on his repeater, goes back out.
Awesome.
Merc through and through.
Only, I think because we're at the end of a mission, does he hand off one of his death sticks reluctantly. And he looks a little sad. He didn't get to beat up things as much as he wanted to. With that thermal detonator. He lights a death stick, takes a deep drag on it, and he just blows all the smoke, and it obscures everything.
Yes, the death stick smoke obscures the screen, and we fade out, and that is the end of the taking of ISD Vengeance. Good job, Commandos. You did it, and none of you died.
Well, it was close though. It was pretty close.
Yes, it was a close call there. A couple times. So thank you everyone for watching, for hanging out with us. This was a really fun sort of kickoff session for me for the AbTab pool party. We're going to be hanging out and playing games all week, so definitely come check out the Absolute Tabletop group. Link is down in the description. I'm going to toss it here to my players to do outros, and then we'll call it a night. I've got a bottle of mead and an episode of Exandria Unlimited to watch tonight, so I'm very excited.
There you go.
We'll go ahead and start in reverse order here with Adrian.
Oh, I had so much fun. Thank you so much for running this, Matt. HyperspaceD6 is where it's at for Star Wars role-playing games. So cannot wait to play this again. I guess for me, I do have a channel. I've got a group, Facebook. It's the Lee 6113 Tabletop Role-Playing Game. So no need to go check it out. But that's where I'm at. Anyway, thank you.
Hey, thank you, man. Thank you. Paul, go ahead.
Hi, everyone. As I mentioned before, I'm the Raven Rolls. You can find me, you can find my channel here on YouTube. You can find it on Twitch, Facebook, and not doing a lot of streaming, but I am going to do my best to attempt to stream Philip Mahdi's pirate D&D game on Sunday. Sunday evening, same time slot as this was in. 9 p.m. Eastern, and we're gonna have, I think, Cole is in there, Karen from Myths and Gears, and we're just gonna have a lot of fun there. And you can also catch me in 2 new campaigns with the XP Guild. You can find them on Twitch, and I think you on Facebook as well. And yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Right on. Yeah, that Philip Maddie game is going to be one to watch for sure. Zach, go ahead.
Yeah, I have been Zach Norman. This game was incredibly fun. Thank you, Matt, for inviting me to play. And somehow, I don't know how you did it. I mentioned this in chat, but you have the ability to tap into a purely accurate Star Wars soundboard with just your mouth. It really helps. It was insane. You got all of the sound effects. It was like, whoa, did you play a clip or something? It was hilarious. You really captured the spirit of Star Wars with this game. It was so much fun. I had a blast playing. I don't really have anything to plug because I borrowed his station. I guess I should say follow Mini Terrain Domain. My father, he puts out a lot of great content with a lot of great people. But yeah, thanks for letting me play.
Absolutely. It was great to have you. And Gwen, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Gwen Reed. You can find me on Twitter at Gwen_Reed. Mainly just do a lot of mini painting and stuff on there. But yeah, this game was amazing. It was so much fun. I have the Star Wars OST in the background, and just as the last scene was happening, the New Hope end credits medley came up, and it was amazing in my ear. It was perfect.
That's awesome.
But yeah, it was so fun. I really enjoyed it, and once again, thanks for Matt for running the game, and writing the game as well. I suppose, and hacking it up. It's good.
Yeah. I have the end song of New Hope playing right now.
Nice.
No medals for Defiance Squad though. You guys don't get medals from Princess Leia, but that's okay. This was a really fun game. This is the first game I've streamed in some time, and it was a lot of fun. And thank you guys for joining me. It was wonderful.
Of course.
I think that's where we're going to end it. Again, links to the Absolute Tabletop group are down in the description, and if you do want to check out HyperspaceD6, you can do so on my Patreon. But I'm also going to release this just for everybody for free because it's Star Wars, and I can't charge money for it, so we're just going to give it to everybody. Thanks, everyone. Take care. Happy gaming all, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And there we go.